If your garage freezer keeps turning your ice cream into mush or your meat into mystery blocks of frost, you're probably using the wrong chest freezer for that space. Today, let's fix that once and for all and walk through the 6 best chest freezers that can actually handle real garage life. In this video, we're counting down from number 6 to number 1, so make sure you stay until the end, because the top spots are where the truly garage-ready, set it and forget it beasts live. 6. Lifeplus BC BD74D. This is kind of that good starter freezer you grab when you're tight on space and just want extra frozen storage without going huge. It's a compact unit around 3.5 cubic feet, so it slots easily into a corner of the garage or even next to a workbench without demanding much floor space. The top open door is light, and the removable basket gives you a handy spot for things you reach for often, like frozen veggies, ice cream, or smaller cuts of meat, so you're not always digging to the bottom. For a small household, or as an overflow freezer, it definitely punches above its size. Now, in terms of performance, it does a solid job at freezing quickly enough for everyday use, and the adjustable temperature dial lets you fine-tune how cold you want it, which is helpful if you're rotating between bulk meat buys and more delicate items. The compressor is reasonably efficient, and the wattage is low, so it won't spike your power bill, which is nice when it's just humming away in the garage day and night. Noise levels are generally low, so you don't get that loud, rattly sound some older freezers make every time they kick on. But here's where things get a bit, okay, for a garage setup. Being a compact freezer, its insulation and overall build are more in line with typical indoor use, and it's not specifically marketed as a garage-ready unit that tolerates wide temperature swings. 5. DEMULLER YXDM-BCBD79W. The DEMULLER steps things up with a bit more sophistication, especially with its electronic temperature control system. Instead of guessing with a vague dial, you get more precise control from about 41 degrees Fahrenheit down to around -15 degrees Fahrenheit, -15 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a big help when you want consistent performance for long-term storage or bulk meat. It's roughly a 4.0 cubic foot unit, so you gain a bit more internal space than the Lifeplus, while still keeping a compact footprint that fits nicely in most garages. The DEMULLER also comes with 2 removable storage baskets, which, honestly, make organization so much easier than constantly shuffling heavy bags around. You can keep smaller items and frequently used foods up top, and then stack larger cuts and bulk items below without losing track of them as easily. Noise is kept nicely in check at around 38 dB, so even if your garage is attached and close to a living space, it's not going to be this nagging background hum all day. Energy-wise, it's built to be efficient, with relatively low wattage and a design that aims to keep running costs down, which is key when it's plugged in year-round. However, there are a couple of reasons this one doesn't climb higher on the list. First, even though the electronic control is great in theory, it also introduces one more thing that can be a weak point long-term, especially in a garage environment with dust, fluctuating temps, and sometimes less than perfect power conditions. 4. KRIB BLING FLG72Q. The KRIB brings a slightly different flavor to the lineup. This one is about 3.5 cubic feet, but with a compact, almost cube-like form factor. Roughly 25.8 by 21 by 25.8 inches, so it's easy to tuck under shelves or into tighter corners of the garage. It's freestanding, with a clean white finish, and is light enough to move around if you need to reorganize your space. For smaller garages or shared utility areas, that flexibility matters more than people think. One of the standout features here is the 7-gear temperature control, which gives you a range roughly from about -18 degrees to -46 degrees, depending on how you set the dial. That allows you to, really dial in colder settings when you're doing deep storage of meat or long-term frozen goods, while still backing it off a bit for more general use. The freezer is designed with multifunctionality in mind. KRIB BLING even mentions using it for things like breast milk storage, so it's clearly tuned to keep temperature stability tight, Another neat detail is the way the door can stay open at 90 degrees, which makes it easier to load and clean without constantly fighting a lid that wants to slam shut. Inside, the layout is simple but effective, with a removable shelf basket so you can separate quick access items from bulk storage below. The wattage is low, around 50 kilowatt hours on the spec listing, which signals a focus on energy efficiency over brute force. 3. EUHOMY MCF35H. The EUHOMY is where things start to feel more purpose-built and confidence-inspiring for a lot of home users. It's another 3.5 cubic foot chest freezer with dimensions around 21.2 inches wide, 21.6 inches deep, and about 31 inches high, so it's tall and compact, taking up very little floor space while still giving you enough room for a solid stash of frozen food. The design is clean and simple, and the unit is light enough that getting it into the garage isn't a wrestling match. Inside, you get a removable plastic basket or two for smaller items and quick grab foods, plus a decent amount of depth below for bulkier cuts and boxes. The mechanical thermostat is easy to use. You just turn the dial up or down to adjust the temperature, with the manual recommending you start around the mid-range setting and let it cool for 24 hours before loading heavy. There's also an exterior drain to make manual defrosting a lot less of a chore. You open the drain, let the meltwater out, wipe it down, and you're good. What makes the EUHOMY stand out a bit more is the balance between performance and simplicity. It's rated at about 65 watts of power input with R600A refrigerant, and it's designed for long-term frozen storage of up to about 3 months, which is exactly the kind of use many garage owners need. Stock up, then slowly work through your stash. 2. Newair NFT050GN00. This is a 5.0 cubic foot chest freezer, and it's specifically positioned as a compact but mighty solution for garages, small spaces, and utility rooms. The capacity jump from the 3.5 to 4.0 cubic foot range to 5.0 cubic feet is noticeable. All of a sudden, those bulk meat deals, extra frozen meals, and ice cream stashes all fit with breathing room. One of the biggest advantages here is the digital temperature control panel mounted on the top, which lets you set the internal temperature anywhere from about -14.8 degrees Fahrenheit up to 50.8 degrees Fahrenheit up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That range is huge because it means the unit can function as either a deep freezer or even as a fridge-like cooler if you ever need it. The controls are precise and easy to read. No guessing, no "is this 3 or 4 on the dial" stuff. Just pick your target temperature and let it run. There's also a fast freeze mode that you can activate when you, say, come back from a big grocery run or a hunting trip and want to pull the temperature down quickly to lock in freshness. The Newair is designed with garages very much in mind. It can handle ambient temperatures from about 50 degrees Fahrenheit to roughly 109 degrees Fahrenheit, which covers most typical garage environments, even in hot climates. Noise levels sit around 42 dBm, which is pretty quiet for a chest freezer of this size, and power consumption is kept to about 215 kilowatt hours per year, showing that it's designed to be efficient even while maintaining those low temps. 1. Frigidaire EFRF10136COM. And this is where things really feel garage serious. This model is a 10.0 cubic foot chest freezer, giving you roughly double the internal space of the Newair and nearly 3 times that of the small 3.5 cubic foot units. If you have a larger family, do serious bulk buying, or like to store game meat, whole harvests, or months' worth of meals, this size changes the game completely. Frigidaire's design here focuses heavily on practical garage use. It features exterior temperature controls so you can adjust the settings without opening the lid and letting all the cold air spill out, which is huge when you're trying to maintain stable temps in a warm or humid garage. The unit is convertible, meaning it can run either as a freezer or as a refrigerator. So if your needs change, say you want extra fridge space for events, parties, or canning season, you can flip modes and get a massive cold storage tub in your garage. Inside, you get removable wire storage baskets that make organizing much more manageable despite the large capacity. Smaller or frequently used items can live in the baskets, while bulk meats and long-term storage take up the bottom. The exterior also includes an easy-access drain for manual defrosting, along with an exterior power-on indicator light and adjustable leveling legs to keep it stable on typical garage floors. The overall build is robust and finished in a distinctive black granite design with dark accents, giving it a more premium, durable look that fits nicely in a finished or semi-finished garage. Final thought. That's all for today, folks.